Infernoble Knights come out of nowhere and run it back for this national championship. And is that Mystic Mind, man? Where have you been all format? I bet 30% of you guys have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you can climb up the 100K ladder. Bolivia Nationals, full breakdown here in terms of your higher represented decks. Well, 100 and plus players came out to this event. Huge turnout, by the way. We had 23 branded Despia present in the event. Wow. Okay. 18 Eldritch, 10 of which were branded, and then 8 versus traps, which means I did basically predict that the branded variant would essentially be taking over at this point in time. We had Invoke Dogmatica, Shadal, 12 branded, 3 DP, and 4 other variants. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. I see that we also had 15 Sword Soul Tenyi decks. That seems like a relatively small turnover compared to the rest of the overflowing part of the metagame, but okay. We also had 116 other decks. Top 8 here was none other than branded Despia. This pie chart is very, very nice. So one-ofs here up in here. So branded Despia, we had Infernoble 60 card, which ended up winning the event. Kudos for that. We had Mystic Mind taking down second place, actually. Tri-Brigade Lyricalisk also. We had Mech Knight Invoked. That's actually, you know, seeing the fact that Mech Knight Invoked just kind of got the chance to come out of its little time capsule here and go, hi guys, I'm back, is actually pretty nice. We had one Pendulum Magician list, which is also pretty interesting. We had Sword Soul Tenyi, so at least one Sword Soul player made it in. And we had Invoked Dogmatica Shadal. Actually kind of interesting because you had, what, 2 Invoked engines overall making it in to the event. So nothing shocking there? No, not at all. Our top 8 list here, starting things off here is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, yield 48 cards, by the way. Triple Lord Darkness built into this turbo creature. We're playing the one branded trap card. We have triple Forbidden Chalice in here, so we can kind of grind out the company. You need to have resources in order to play the game. I also see that we have the Gold Sarcophagus in here to have access to Mercurier. Comedy in here is very nice. We're also playing the Light Hexial Fusion, which means we can have access to Dragoon. A lot of Dragoon testing kind of fell off the planet, I guess, a little bit here. So, especially like as we're shifting back through the format here, and you kind of are getting the chance to see a little callback here to that. I think that's very, very nice. All right, so not too bad of a little homage to that. Truthfully, outside of that, I don't see anything else in this list that screams too left field to me. Next up is our Invoked Dogmatica list. Change of Heart sporting off in this bad boy here, showing us that we can do relatively well with this. All right, I see that we have double copies. Oh, we're still packing in the Fusion Destinies and the Shadal Fusions. You know, even though that Fusion Destiny is completely unsearchable, still having access to pull it out and, I guess, ruin the opponent's day is going to be pretty good. I like the fact that no Verti Anaconda needed right now to still pull off some of these higher fusion-based combo strategies. All right, truthfully, outside of that, this is pretty standard. Obviously, Maximus plays are still going to be the backbone of this deck, and they're going to be some of the more intricate little pieces to kind of keep this deck moving in the generalized right direction for what it wants to do. So overall, not too bad here. And then our last top 8 list here is our Mech Knight list. Yes, we are not doing the whole Scars FTK that we saw previously, where you like hand rip destroy your opponent. All right. None of that shenanigans here. We are having the 2 Retaliating Seas or whatnot in the main deck here, which is very interesting. I also like the pure amount of Change of Heart / Mind Control that you're finding in here, especially in a deck like this going second, being able to steal some sort of key monster from your opponent. Okay, it's free real estate. Like, free link fodder for no reason whatsoever is going to be very, very crucial at the end of the day. All right. Honestly, outside of that, in terms of just board-breaking shenanigans and setting up and doing things that we've already kind of seen here, pre-established, this is all absolutely amazing. So I'm glad to see that this got the chance to do well. We do not have the pendulum list here because it looks like they didn't want it shared. So top 4, ladies and gentlemen, is our Tri-Lyricalist package. I do want to say that a lot of these Tri builds that I'm seeing as of late right now are pretty much just very interesting in terms of things. Honestly, the whole Lyricalist package, just getting the chance to kind of meld back into this, obviously it's still just free beast, wing beast fodder in the graveyard for this deck to just be able to establish and do what it wants to do. So many players are going to be like, oh, you know, like, what do I do at the end of the day here for this? Well, just bird combo up, and you get to your little Tri-Brigade package, and you can go ahead and do your Frigette Special Summon extenders, and then you should be ending up with 2 to 3 additional link climbing little capabilities for the deck. It's all pretty nuts, and it doesn't really take a committed normal summon for this particular deck to get off the ground, which is very, very nice. And then we had our Sword Soul 10E list back here. Double Heavenly Dragon Cycle, baby. Triple Vassal. We are playing 44 cards in this build, which we also have access to the triple Incredible Ecclesia. We do have the Synthana in here, which is probably the most question-marked card that I've seen so far. So many players, I guess, just don't really know what they want to do. Do I play the Synthana? Do I not? Double Talents built into the main deck is also pretty interesting. I mean, with Double Talents and Double Desires, you're effectively on 4 cards to be able to get additional draw power, you know, punish the opponent back via hand trap. It's all genuinely free real estate at that point in time. Outside of that, I don't see anything else that screams too left field to me here. Outside of the fact that, no, there's really nothing. This deck is pretty organized and pretty straightforward to what you would really expect out of Sword Soul 10E, you know, especially extending out the hand trap lineups a little bit here. Second place was none other than Mystic Mine. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, Mystic Mine existing in the format can be a little bit of an annoyance. But this deck actually has one of the more interesting capabilities right now. The fact that we've seen this deck have an uptick in Dark Ruler No Mores, so you can basically blank wipe an entire field so you can establish and play the game, is going to be very, very important. Alright, I see that we have Double Cauldron built into this main deck as well, so that we can play the game. The extra deck does not matter whatsoever. There will be no scenario in which you want to access the extra deck. Also, I like the fact that this deck is pulling in from Dimension Shifter. Having access to Shifter means that you can basically devastate the opponent on turn 1 of the game so that you can establish and do your thing. Outside of that, Courtesy of the Forbidden Spell has become a little bit more of a norm in here as well. And I also like the triple MST down here and the side deck. Also, I'm pretty sure Mono Iwata has been a pretty staple side option as of late. I also like the double Lightning Strike Kaiju down there, actually. So whatever your opponent's doing, that's a problem if they set up like a negate this Kaiju over it. It's just interesting that that's the Kaiju of choice for this particular variant. Overall, about what I expected, honestly, for this. And then the last one we have here is 60 card Infernoble Sporting Off Exchange. Oh, that's a nice little hand trap option you have over there. It'd be a real shame if you tried to stop me. We have Regulux built into this bad boy as well. You know, this deck did want to see a Rorodon combo. It was really nice. And I honestly expected after the death of Rorodon, we might not see that anymore. But this deck said, nah, we're going to evolve. We're going to prove to the community that we can still do something here. And that's exactly what we get here. Infernoble took down this event and proved to the community that this deck can still compete. And I think overall that is one of the coolest things that I have got the chance to see in a hot second. So once again, I'm going to clap here because I think Infernoble being able to still evolve after everything that has happened to all of the support engines to this deck, it really does take a mad genius to see some of these very cool plays. So what do you think about the last trick region or national breakdown, actually? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.